Hello, Lens Legends, and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. My name is Jim Landers, your guide on the business side, and it's my mission to uplift portrait photographers to make a great income doing what they love. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. For Digital Pro Lab, and I'll put her up on the Digital Pro Lab on the screen, and their URL too. Let's see, there it is. For Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her wonderful, amazing team are going to make you look like a hero just because that's what they do. That's just the default. Amanda hires fantastic people who love what they do. They're career people. If you haven't experienced the difference the Digital Pro Lab can make for you and your printing, the post-production process, making your clients happy, then you need to reach out to digitalprolab.com, digitalprolab.com. And the show is also sponsored by Landers Photography School. That's my company. I teach both the photography side and the business side. And I want to invite you to take advantage of something that I don't charge anything for. And that's a free 15-minute, yeah, it's not long, but it's valuable. A free 15-minute time with me just to talk about you, talk about your goals, see if we can plan a direction for you that helps you reach those goals. And you can see on the screen right now, it says calendly.com, not calendar, calendly.com/photo school /15MIN. That takes you directly to my calendar so that you can schedule something to talk with me about. So put that on take care of that as you can do it right now if you want to, take care of it as soon as this show is over. Put yourself on my calendar. Let's talk. Now, I want to encourage you throughout this discussion today to ask questions, to leave comments. If you've experienced something, if you've got something more to share, if you've got some ideas, feel free to go to the comment section and let us know about those. And speaking of the comment section, I want you to enter in hashtag live. That way I know you're watching us on either Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube. We're simulcast to several different places. But I want to know that you're watching live. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, please enter hashtag replay. I also request that you share the Portrait Profit Show. Just click that share button. Or if you know someone who you think could benefit from this, do the @ symbol in their name, letting them know this show exists. That's how people find out about it, is because someone shared it with you. So share the Portrait Profit Show. Let's see. Now, we have a guest on today that I'm looking forward to introducing to you. After a photography session is over, it feels like the hard part is done. I mean, it looks like that from the client's point of view, from someone on the outside looking in. It's just the photography. You snap the button a couple of times and you're done, right? The hard part's done. No, Now, that's when you get to sit down at the computer. What follows is hours of reviewing, comparing, second guessing, deciding which images are going to move forward, which don't, and what kind of artwork, and doing the artwork, the retouching that you're going to do to those those things you do, these parts of your process. These are time consuming. It feels heavy, and it slows down everything else in your business. Everything. Now you might think, well, it's about control. It's about I'm the artist. This is what I need to do. But if that, but if what happens after your session hasn't changed in a while, you're still doing it the same way you've always done it. You know what? This may be contributing to your business staying in the same place. Today, we're going to take a closer look at that part of your workflow and what happens when it becomes more efficient. Our guest today is Aayush Arora. He's the founder of FilterPixel. He helps make photographers' lives better by reducing the time and mental weight of post-session workflow, giving photographers more time and more freedom to focus on their clients, their creativity, their business, and their personal life. So help me welcome Aayush Arora to the Portrait Profit Show. Hey, Aayush.
Hey, Jim. Hey, how are you?
Doing great. It's always good to see you.
Same here, Jim. It has been so long. I remember the last time we did this, and it was so good. I wanted to do this again, so I want to thank you so much for inviting me again, and giving me a chance to share my thoughts.
Oh man, of course. Of course. So, you know what? Before we talk about FilterPixel, which I can't wait to get to, I want to start with you and what led you to focus on the post-session side of photography.
100%. And it's an interesting story, which I would love to share. My background has always been into events and photography. I have seen it in every event, almost in every event. I've been a part of various events in the industry, but wherever I went, I was a speaker and I never got my photos. And I was really curious about why I don't get my photos on the same day. So I chased multiple photographers, multiple event companies, multiple event organizers during the show. And they always said that it takes time. It will take approximately a week or 2 weeks to get my photos to me as a speaker. That was a curiosity which started an experiment, which led to finally FilterPixel, after like the pivots and all of that, what we have done. So I've seen that photograph is very important, and it's an emotion part of any event. It's a part of my story when I'm on the stage, but the timing of that photograph is also very important. And there's a saying that the excitement for a client, when I'm a speaker, I'm a client actually. So the excitement like a client is kind of like getting decreased after the photo shoot or after the photo is clicked. So as you go more and more away from that time on which the photo was created during the event, and it is not for all the photography types, but generally, at least in events, the time at which the photo is clicked and the time it is delivered, the time between that is the real money. Um, and for me, it was very important to understand why the photos are not delivered to me. My photos are not with me till a weekend is over. That led me to start researching, figuring out things around the entire industry. I have realized various pain points where photographers are actually struggling, and finally led to what we call FilterPixel today.
Nice. Yeah. So when photographers are sitting down after the session, where do you see time being lost, or maybe the most time being lost?
See, Jim, it has been like 5 years we have spent with photographers so far. We started in 2021 and now it's 2026. And we have seen a journey we have seen a couple of steps where after a photo shoot, every photographer is trying to master that particular part of the post production. The photo shoot of an hour or 2 hours, when they're coming back, they're so tired that they are not starting, you know, the post production the same day. That is the day of
That's right.
like resting. So one day is wasted.
Mhm.
I would say one day goes to the rest there, and there's a delay of that day. They can't deliver photos on that day for sure. Travel is there, and then coming back, too tiring. The second day or the second day eve, they might start with having a SD card with them, putting that out into the system, 1,000 to 2,000 photos. The first step is after importing to cull them through. So they're gonna take the 1,000 photos, taking it down to 200 and 300 for delivery, which is like cutting more than half. Cutting more than half of the photos are gonna take, 1 or 2 hours based on how effective you are if you're doing it manually. uh, 1 to 2 hours is not lesser if you are shooting weddings like 5,000 to 10,000 photos. I mean, it can take a couple of sittings. It cannot be done in a single day, which is again a problem. And there's a pattern in which you're doing that process again and again. And sometimes when you're shooting like kind of burst sequences, like there are photos which look really the same in multiple settings. You are so confused in which one to take, which one to just keep, and that takes a hell lot of time, and it's kind of paralysis that the photographer's mind is, because they're attached to photos. It's very hard to detach the feeling at the point you're choosing the photo from a burst sequence. The amount of time that it takes for a culling session of 5,000 to 10,000 photos in multiple sittings can be 6 hours to 8 hours very easily, even if you are very productive, because you're not doing in a single sitting with a focus. Your back is tired now. You have to take a break, and you deserve a break. So even if you're doing manually 6 to 8 hours for culling only, then you enter the editing, which actually is broken down into multiple steps based on which photography genre you are into. So in editing itself, the basic editing, which looks like using Lightroom and just applying, basic parameters of color correction and just correcting out the exposure of the HSL using color tone curves somewhere there, like 99 parameters. People don't touch everyone, but they tweak here and there. If you do it manually, going photo by photo in Lightroom and tweaking settings here and there, I would say like 5 to 6 hours you are spending even in the basic edit for 1,000-ish photos after culling. And then comes the part of retouch, where everyone is not going to retouch, but few photographers, based on what they are shooting, whether they are doing family sessions or they're doing portraiture, some part of the photo or some photos really need retouching. And if you're doing retouching manually, again, you will not do retouch of every photo. You will just pick few photos that you want to retouch, which are mostly the portraits. It can, based on how complex retouching require, it can again be 5 to 6 hours of stretch. So in total, just doing the post production of culling, editing, retouching, the entire can be a stretch of more than 15 to 20 hours per shoot of 1,000 to 2,000 photos. And then comes the sharing, which effectively means that now your gallery is ready, how you're going to share it with clients so that you can make some money. And then you make a gallery link and then you share it with your client. Uploading time there, from the point you have shot to the point you have culled, edited, retouched, and now you will export it from your software. The exporting of it and then re-uploading it to a gallery again is a process of an hour or so based on your internet speed. And then you have a final link that you can really deliver. So a stretch of 15, 16 hours and more, given that you are not shooting in the same week. You can deliver fast enough within like 4 to 5 days if you are good at what you do and if you're using manual methods. The AI has come into the picture, and now you don't need to do all of that manually. You can actually combine a couple of software which are doing decent job assisting you in each one of those steps and couple of steps, and then you don't need to sit manually, spend 20 hours a shoot, 20-25 hours a shoot doing that. um,
Right.
and Jim, like how crucial time is for us all. We are we are in business, and every single hour counts. What we are doing in
Does.
that hour makes us different from a photographer who is doing 6 digits versus what we do. So I feel like basically time is exactly equal to money, and the people who really scale their business make a very, very strong system uh, before they think scaling.
All right. It's no wonder why this feels heavy for us. Do you think it's more of a is it a volume problem? Is it a decision making problem? Is it a what what's the bottom line problem that we're experiencing?
Well, I feel like it's a combination. When it comes
Yeah.
to portraiture, the volume is lesser, but then you have so many sessions. The expectations of the clients are, can you show me just now what you just shot?
Yeah.
So the expectation of a client is like in social media, the word like the expectation of the client has changed from can you deliver it after 2 days to can you deliver it now. They want now, and that instant gratification is the real money of what makes you different. I feel the problem is most of the photographer still feel that like they are good in whatever they are doing. And
Right.
I agree. I mean, they are good at their art. They are good at making photos. The speed at which the world has moved in the last couple of years, maybe the adaptation of AI in photography is taking time. And because now people are realizing, and we see these queries every single day, Jim, that people are coming to us asking same questions. You know, I shoot 5,000 photos, and then I don't have a system that can work for me so far. How can your system be effective in my business
Right.
where I can deliver it in the same day, or my galleries come the next day? They're surprised by the fact that AI can pull off 80% of what they were doing manually, and their assistant, like AI is like their assistant, which can pull off 80% of the gallery. The rest 20% is what they need to do creatively, and then add their voice, add their brand, add their uh what they are, add their personal touch to it, and then deliver it. On the other hand, the expectation of the client with that amount of the volume that the photographer has shot,
Yeah.
the client on the other hand is receiving just 500 to 600 photos from a wedding. They're not worried about that you shot 5,000. They're worried about when you're going to deliver me my 500. So if you're going back to home, taking 5,000 photos, and your mind right now is because I took 5,000, it will take time to deliver, and the client will understand that. No, I'm sorry. Client care about what they need, and what they need is not photos. They need photos on time. because they want to put it on social, they want to show it to everyone,
Yeah,
and they
that's right.
want it to show it the same day. The
Sooner the
expectation,
better.
yeah, sooner the better. I mean, the expectation that we had in our contracts, when I still read contracts that we as photographers put, and you will be surprised that we still have contracts where we write proudly, I will deliver your gallery in 8 weeks. Like we literally write that proudly. It's not a statement to make proud of when your competitor is delivering in the same week. And the client sees that. The client is very smart. So my point is AI has made it possible to deliver quality work on time. So I'm not saying to sacrifice quality. I'm saying to understand that even if you have quantity, even if you have volume, with the amount of uh, the with the amount or with the amount of volume that you are shooting, with the advancements of the technology, you can still deliver the quality on time, and that makes you different from a typical business which has not changed since 1980s.
Well, there's resistance to people using it. There's multiple reasons for that. Some have never used AI in their workflow. And others want that control. So let's start off first. I want to move to control, but I want to start off with those who've never used AI in their workflow before. Let's say that they move forward with that. What's changing first? What are they noticing first?
It will look like a difficult thing to them to first look into for the first time. It's very common. It's normal. It's completely normal to get introduced to something which you have never seen and getting overwhelmed from it. So the first impression will be, uh, I don't think it is for me because I'm happy in whatever I do. The
Yeah.
second time they get introduced to it via a friend, via a Facebook group, via someone that they know of, the second touch point I would say is whether they realize like their friend uses it and he's happily delivering galleries on time. They will break that resistance and give it a first genuine try. Now the try can go into two directions. Either they can fail in the sense that it will not work for the problem that they're trying to solve, or it will work exactly what they want. If it works exactly, plus one. If it does not work, if you are a photographer and you are listening to me, if it does not work, you don't need to stop using it. You need to go to the person who understand it, whether it is your friend, your peer, your influencer, who introduced it to you, your Facebook group friend, uh, right? Your support service of the company, whatever, and try to learn it from them. Try to learn how others are effectively using it because this is very crucial. This is the time where most of the people feel like this is not for me, and that creates the difference between how you learn it. There are plenty of people teaching AI these days, and I would say it's just a system. It's not something replacing you, right? Like it's just a tool. So learning a tool can be overwhelming first, then you
Oh,
get
yeah.
introduced to it. There is still a resistance. You overcome that resistance. Your third touch point is going to be awesome because now you have broken that minimum a barrier to entry which you had in your mind initially, and
Hmm.
now you are seeing it from a different perspective. You are seeing it as a friend. You are seeing it as something that you have worked hard for because you wanted it to work. And now, because you have changed your mind about AI and you are seeing it as something that can benefit you in your business, you will work hard for it to work. And once it works, right, it will work hard for you.
Yeah.
So if you have put just 10% energy of your entire week to it, I can guarantee whatever field you are trying to use into the production steps I introduced, the AI will return back the return on investment. Until it is something that until it's something that you're trying to automate, which is literally not possible. Like, you know, like you're literally trying to think about see, I am a person who believes that AI can make things possible in future, whatever is not. But in today, there are some restrictions, what it can do better, what it cannot do better. So until unless, right, that you're just solving anything, most of the things that we are solving or we have seen people solving really work pretty well. And we we literally are very positive about how now photographers are understanding it and how they are taking it in the mindset.
It makes sense. I want to ask a question about control. All right. So some people are hesitant because they aren't familiar with AI. They're against AI. But of those who that's not their concern, I think their biggest concern is control. We are creatives. We are creating something. We want control over what it is we
For
create. We
sure.
don't want something else having a say in what's going on. So, how much decision making stays with the photographer, and how does your system decides? How is it making this decision? How's it deciding what's worth keeping, what isn't? Is it actually getting rid of stuff? Is it showing it? Am I able to compare? Tell me what's going on as far as my concern as a photographer for control of my creative process.
So it's a very interesting question, not only because it talks about control and a balance between control and automation, but it also touches the fact that whenever we talk to a photographer, they always want something that they have a say. So what we created as a system is we put photographer into the middle, and then we created AI around it, rather than putting AI into the middle and photographer around it. So because the
Right.
photographer is the center of the attraction in the software, they can control every single thing. We don't delete any photo, right? We make sure that whatever we like in the calling process, if the AI is rejecting anything, we make sure that with FilterPixel feature, you can actually take them back into the selections. When it comes to the editing part, we don't destruct the photo. We just add the layers into the existing data. Like if you are using metadata, XMPs, sidecar files in Lightroom, we just add information to it rather than deleting your existing information. So you can roll back anytime. Now, Jim, just wanted to give an example of what we have seen in 2024 and 2025 in terms of transparency when it comes to control. So when we were in 2024 and 2025, we realized like in the culling process, when you put photos to cull, the AI that we created was automatically going through the photos and it was selecting, rejecting, and reviewing, putting photos into these three sections: reject, review, and select. As a photographer, you just go through the selects, and if they look good, you just export them out and share it with your clients after editing. or you can edit it with FilterPixel in a click and then share the proofs with the client. Otherwise, you can just go to the rejects and check them out and take the few back to your process, which you think the AI has taken out, and you will never take them out. So it's a process where you can play around and let the AI know what your choices are so that it becomes better. But in 2026, we realized that we need to add more transparency to the process. So rather than just making sure that we select or reject photos, we added transparency in the terms of why it is selecting, why it is rejecting a particular photo. So we came out with a AI algorithm which can understand what is the reason of selection, what is the reason of rejection. So it does not act like a black box where all the photos are selected or all the photos are rejected. We really understood the control mechanism of how a photographer really want control over their process, and and the transparency over their selections as well. So we really take care about what we learned from the industry, and then we put them back into the software. And this year we introduce a method, I would say, called deep culling. With deep culling, that's the only culling, and we call it third generation culling.
Hmm.
That's the only culling system which understand your genre of photography before making a selection or a rejection. We understood from our customers that a wedding is not culled with the same amount of criteria that we used to cull for a sports event. For a wedding, a moment is very important, or I would say an emotion. People hanging out, people talking to each other, seeing each other. These all are very important. For sports, peak actions, the expression, the aggression when you're putting the ball into that basketball ring, it's very important. The peak action and the emotion are two different criteria. So if you make a single culling algorithm for both of these genres, then they're not going to work. So we understood our photographers' viewpoints, that they want control over specifying what they look into the photos. They need control after the AI makes selections, and they want to tweak those selections and tell the AI what they really want. So the control is introduced at every step, not only at the step of after the AI has done its job, but also before the AI do its job. We ask you, what is your photography genre? So that we can use different AI for different genres. And then we can also show you transparently what criterias it has used in your case, so that you can learn from it. You can really learn, like, it has rejected this photo because it thinks the distance between the ball and the ring is quite large.
Hmm.
Uh, or it has a reasoning capability to tell you why it has rejected or selected a photo. And that control mechanism is giving photographers a lot of trust on the culling system that they have never seen before. Previously, AI culling was seen like a black box where you put the photos, it just selects few, it rejects few, and you are done. But today, AI culling with third generation culling or deep culling is perceived as a transparent system, which gives you more control over your selection process. And it tells you why it has selected a photo, why it has rejected a photo, and let you play with that.
That's interesting. So this is giving photographers more control. Um, is this an example of how photographers are guiding or training the AI system to match how they see their work?
Well, Jim, I would say that there are mechanisms in which photographers can train the system and make it effectively work for them. But we realize like that process is so long and it
Yeah,
takes time because it takes thousands of photos with pattern recognition to understand
got it.
culling. In editing, it's very easy to understand uh, what exactly they want to edit by showing their edited photos, which they edited before. So in the editing
Okay.
process, they can submit like a gallery or 800,000 photos, and we can learn from their style and can edit just like them. It's very easy to just mimic an editing style, but culling is very difficult to mimic because the way they select photos and reject photos is different.
Yeah.
Is a different game altogether, and does not have that editing pattern recognition capabilities that we generally get from the before and after versions very clearly. So in that way, we created deep culling in such a way that instead of asking photographers to train and make it better and make it better, we took millions of photos of a certain genre. For example, if you're
Okay.
talking about wedding, we have taken millions of photos. We have taken videos of wedding films and extracted photos of best wedding scenes of those wedding films for the data, and we figured out what the photographers are going to like because these are the best moments of the wedding films. Those data sets are specific for weddings. So we converted videos into photos. And then this system does not need your training because it is trained on millions of photos. So deep culling, you can start from the first day without even training a system for you. If you're coming up
Okay.
from a shoot, you're so tired, you want to give it a try, just go to filterpixel.com, download it. One deep culling is free for you. You can just put the photos out there and then click the button deep cull. When you do deep cull, that means you don't need to train. You can choose your genre. You can see why it has selected or rejected. This is not possible in any other culling system so far because
Really
every
cool.
culling system is a black box generic AI.
Got it. That's interesting. So, what I think I'm receiving from this is that control is a non-issue. I maintain 100% control. This is just helping me to narrow the options so that I can put my control, my way of seeing my art, my creations, into a just a faster way of doing it. It doesn't change my level of control. My level of control is equal. It's just it makes the
100%.
process faster to getting to the end result.
100%. So instead of spending, as I said, calling can take 5 to 6 hours if you are doing it in multiple settings. So
Right.
instead of doing 5 to 6 hours per shoot, you are going to spend 20 minutes of your control over a process, which was taking 6 hours. So you're effectively saving, I would say, if you're shooting 5,000 photos, you're effectively saving more than 4 to 5 hours per shoot. And you can calculate how crucial 5 hours for you for your business. If you are even shooting less, I mean, 1,000 photo session, 800 photo session, I would say 1 to 2 hours you can easily save with just culling. I'm not even talking about editing, just culling system. If you're using deep culling, 1 to 2 hours for 800 photos, you can really save. And then you can spend 5 to 6 minutes for those 800 photos to see AI selections very quickly. You don't need to see what AI has rejected because most of the photos that AI has rejected, like 99.5%, are just crappy photos. Uh, Lights are not there. It's total dark photos. Uh, the entire blurry faces. The hands are cut, flash misfires. We
Yeah.
we
And
can
we don't need to
think
waste our
about all
time with
those
those.
scenarios, all those photos. Yeah, you don't need to waste your time on that. Then comes the photos which are alternates or duplicates from both sequences. The AI chooses one or two best from each sequence automatically. So you don't need to spend time looking at the review section because it is just copy, or it's just like the same photos that are going to be picked by AI. All you need to review and put your touch into is the best section because that is where your voice or the way you deliver comes into the picture. And there is approximately 200 to 300 photos if you have shoot 800 this time. 200 to 300 photos. And then you can just go through very quickly like a scroll, because all of them are really good photos. So you can just go through very quickly to the scroll experience. Photos are quite bigger, so it does not make sense to click and then zoom out. No, they're quite bigger. You can just go through, and whatever you don't like, just keep removing it, keep removing it. That's how you narrow down from 200 to 150, and then quickly go to the editing stack.
Nice. I mean, it just makes perfect sense. So one of the concerns that people share with me, and I'm talking about the business side, is that I don't have time. I'm too busy. There's too many things going on. Yet that same person has not implemented a tool like this. So therefore, there is some kind of a disconnect, because clearly this is a tool that solves their problem. Yet
Yeah.
they haven't implemented this tool. So that's got to be a business concern for you, of how do you connect that person who's saying, I just don't have time. I'm so busy. I need something to be able, I wish this, well, here's the tool that solves that. Use this. So is that do you find that to be a problem, or a concern with your business, trying to get that person's attention who this is the tool for you?
I yeah. I feel like it's a loop. Uh the people who don't have time are looking for things that can save time, but they don't have time even to try those things. And they
Yeah.
are still into
Yeah.
that, vicious cycle of figuring out how I'm gonna get time to try something that I really want to try. So they keep hearing and they keep hearing and then keep procrastinating. And there is no such day that will come in their life where they're gonna sit and the magic will happen. I feel like um, I had a lot of calls such like that, where photographers came to me and said, I subscribed for your software 3 months ago. I didn't get a time to look into it so far.
Yes.
I really want to try it, but can you show me how it works? And we understand that. So we did arrange some demos, live demos for them.
Good.
Uh, we did arrange calls for them, because these people really want to try new things, but they just have like half an hour or so to think about it, and they don't want to waste that half an hour to try it themselves. So they want
Yeah.
someone who
Makes
is
sense.
expert at it to tell them how it works. So we take these people when they come on the chat. So we have customer support available 24 into 7 in the app, on the website. And we also have our customer support email address, dedicated email address that responds within 24 hours. So you can actually connect to any of those three resources and book a call or demo for you. The demo is completely free. So even if
Nice.
like that half an hour, if you have half an hour slot, I would say go to filterpixel.com, see that chat window on the right hand side, open it and say, I want a demo. Because that half an hour demo might save you 5 hours per shoot in your coming season. And then you can see how much money you can make on this 5 hours. Come on, man.
Oh
Like
yeah.
this, this is not about this is not about AI. It's about, can I uh, make my system more effective so that
That's
I
right.
can give my clients the best experience. I can
Yes.
share my clients the same galleries that I used to share after a week on the same day, so that I can drive more referrals from those clients who are happy.
That's
And they will
right.
introduce me to more clients because I'm the one who delivered on the same day and the rest of them were not. And I'm the champion. I'm the one everybody's looking into because I know how it works. They're still figuring out. So I think it's more about how effectively you use the idea of automating culling, editing, and other parts of the workflow, creating a system out of it that can work for you. And I will give you one example. I
Okay.
have a customer uh, who has this Mac machine set up, and they told us that our system is running in their machine 24/7. So they are not touching it. They have created a way where they they put the SD card after a shoot, like they just put the SD card, and the system picks up all the files, curl them, edit them, and create a gallery and send them an email that the gallery is done for their review. And their team processes approximately 10 to 20 shoots a day like this. So that's the system I'm talking about. I'm not saying it's AI or some fancy words, but it's like something that is working for someone to grow their business, to scale their business, to grow their productivity, and finally leading to a same day delivery, which enhances a client experience. Even if you can't deliver same day because you think like it's too much, why don't you try delivering it maybe the next day? Because the client is still having that excitement to get those photos, and you delivering the next day, the client is going to be so happy that they're going to share that photo set with other people who attended the event or who attended their parties or functions. And those people are going to ask your client, how have you got those edited photos so quickly? Who was their photographer? That drives referral.
That's right.
That drives the word of mouth. That drives the conversation you really want to happen between your clients and the people who they're surrounded with, because that's how you make money and that's how you make your brand.
This is definitely an example of a multi-win. I mean, I tell people all the time, do things that are a win-win, but this is at least a three-win because it's a win for the client. They get their stuff faster. It's a win for your business because of that reputation of getting things done quickly. But it's a win for time to be able to invest to spend more time doing things you want to do. But it's also a win for your family, being able to spend more time with the people who you enjoy spending time with. And so your
Yeah.
loved ones, your friends. And so if you've got more time for these kinds of things, well, isn't that what we've been asking for? Isn't that the complaint that we business owners, we creatives have had all along? That we just wish we had more time. We're too busy. If someone asks how things go, and you might say pretty good, you might say, well, I've just been really busy. Well, why are we busy? We're probably doing things that there's a tool to where we're not quite so where the time is not so consumed. And
Yeah.
this filter pixel is a fantastic
I mean,
example of a tool that is going to solve the problems we say we have.
I mean, we still see people having that rat race moment where they're just like in the same rat race. They're trying to figure out how do I do it, but they are not taking time to try new things. They're still
Yeah,
in their old software stack. They haven't seen, or they're scared of this all AI. They're overwhelmed with whatever is going on in this world. They just
right.
want to be in their shell because they feel safe. I would just say, honestly, you are okay to be like that. I'm not saying that you just need to jump very quickly and then just go and learn everything. No, I'm saying figure out what are the problems of your business. Where are you slow at? Why are you not able to deliver your galleries on time? What is concerning for you? Are your clients asking you about, can I get these photos today? Are they asking you when I can get these photos? Are they asking
Yeah,
you your contracts having a timeline of 8 weeks? Are they looking for those moments
that's right.
where they can put your photos to social media? Are they really happy if you can deliver the same day and they can print it and you can actually print them out, hand it over to them in a frame on the same day of the shoot, and they can hang it on the wall? Will you make more money? All these questions are what you should ask yourself rather than thinking about which AI tool I should use. Should I learn 10 AI tools today? No, these are not relevant questions. After you identify the problem in your business, then you go and search whether FilterPixel is right for you for your post production or there's something else which will solve your problem better. But I think the world has moved so fast, the behavior shift is there in the client experience. And now it's a time where you need to audit the processes of your business because you have to evolve. And the first step in evolving from anything is auditing. So audit it, don't be in the rat race, audit it, figure out what's the problem in your business. And if you can't figure it out yourself, take some help. Take help from a friend, take help from people like Jim, you know,
Mhm.
who
That's
are
right.
who are who are teaching photography every single day and trying to help people out in their business. Take help from anyone you trust. Look for the right tools. Scale your business. That is all what I will say.
Yeah. You know what? Looking into the future, how do you see post production evolving over maybe the next few years and then maybe over even a longer period of time? What do you see as the future for this the post production process that we go through as photographers?
In 2021, when I was doing this AI mind boggling stuff, where I was at a conference and helping photographers understand that they can click this button and it will select photos for them. They were saying I'm just, I'm a funny person because
Really?
how can this happen? Like, this
Yeah.
is not possible. It's just I'm faking it or something like that. 5 years down the line, everybody understand what AI culling is, and now they're searching best software for automatically selecting my photos on Google, on ChatGPT.
Yes.
Now we see that the world is moving towards people focusing on delivering experiences faster, people focusing on making experiences better, better not in the sense of just like uh incrementally but exponentially. Like, we have seen a couple of examples where same day delivery is just a normal thing, not in the terms of digital but also as printing asset. So people, our clients, they still today, I'm not talking about 5 years from here, but still today we are seeing some people doing the future. They are literally clicking photos into the camera, doing the calling, editing, and delivery on the same day at event, having a printer with them, printing the best highlights that FilterPixel is giving out from the printer, making a postcard out of it, writing a right like loving message at the back, and handing it over to the client on the wedding day. That
Right.
changes everything. And it's not difficult to do today. Now, this is not future, this is today. We are seeing couple of virtual experiences evolving. We are seeing um, people at events thinking more than three dimensions. We are seeing people moving towards the direction of how can I give the experience to my client, like they can feel the photo rather than just see the photo. They can live the moment rather than just looking at the moment. So we are seeing the experiences in future evolving towards with Meta, like the glasses. Uh, we are seeing quite examples of that already in the market, and with the AI, this becomes very easy because AI can create virtual worlds. So, like it can write a story when you ask it to write a story in the future, it can create an artificial world around you in future, which you can view from your glasses. So when that world is possible, you can give your client their memories in that virtual world, like a digital album, rather than just in the album which you give today. So anyone can experience your digital album being a part of the album, walking through it, rather than just inside a notebook. So we are seeing a couple of trends in the event industry evolving towards how can my clients feel my photo rather than how can my clients just see my photo. And I'm saying people will say I'm mad talking all this here, but that is the same statement they made when I made this the AI calling in 2021. So it's okay. I just feel like you know we have moved one way ahead just thinking about AI, and now it's not AI anymore. It's more about how AI enhances a different part of the world, and one part of the world is the experience, like how we feel from our eyes, what we see from our eyes. So when you have a layer between your eyes and the real world, it changes the entire experience. And that's where we are betting on. We're betting on new experiences which will come from the eye. And that's where we see the new world of photography is moving.
Well, I like that. Tell me from your perspective, what skills are going to become more important for photographers, and what would you encourage photographers to start doing now so that they stay on top, so that they stay strong in their business?
Well, doing now so that they can be effective in their business, definitely go to filterpixel.com and download the software. That's the best thing you can do today. But just kidding.
I mean,
Uh,
it's the truth.
there are there are a couple of things you can do. Uh, I would say, as I said earlier, your business will have unique problems, which will not be the problem for other business owners that you work with or you hang out with. So you have to audit the business today. You have to look into your business, just like zoom out first, totally zoom out. Don't even think about what you have showed today. Just zoom out, see your business from the top level. And when you see that bird eye view, then look into how much time you're spending in each and every part of your business. How much time you do for shooting, how much time is going to culling, how much time goes to editing, how much time is going to retouching, how much time goes to uploading and sharing, how much time is taking to get the invoice clear, how much time you are taking to get the business booked for your next booking, how much time for your ads. There should be a sheet that you should have with all those numbers with you in your hand saying, I spent this. That is my total. Now, for every time that you have given, write what is your hourly charge and multiply it. So for calling, if you think about you charge $50 an hour, and then culling is taking like 5 hours for you for a shoot, how many shoots you do? So if you are saying 5 hours per shoot, $50 an hour, $250 is the cost that you are spending doing culling for a
That's right.
shoot.
That's right.
$250, can you spend that $250 better? If the answer is yes, I can spend that time better in finding my clients, cut that culling out from the sheet, and right there, use AI to automate culling and replace it with find clients for myself, which relates to my business better, or improving my messaging and positioning, sharpening my positioning, doing experiments on positioning, talking to my clients, getting feedback, all that you have to do, which AI can't. And you have to do a lot, believe me, as a business owner, as a photographer, you have to do a lot. So you just don't have time to think about that. So once you just cross things that you don't do now and you hand it over, you delegate an agent or AI who can do it not better than you, 100%. It's not replacing you, just like an assistant, so that you can look into it and it does not hamper your quality. It increase your productivity. That's where, when you cut down that list, understand the amount of hours and the amount of money you have saved from that list is the real business growth. And you have to do that quarterly. You have to do that quarterly because AI is evolving so fast that the things that I'm telling you today will change just after 4 months. So this audit needs to be done quarterly. This is a system where you need to just look into what tools you use today, where are they after 4 months, whether they're like, are they better versions of themselves, or there are new tools that are better than them. And that audit will help you grow and grow and grow. You will cut expenses because there are better tools that can do a lot now. You will cut maybe some costs that you do for outsourcing things, where it does not make sense to outsource, because now you and AI can both do that for yourself. You will cut down your review time, that manual time that you do. And I would say, okay, business is fine. Business growth is fine. Also figure out, if your business starts doing well, will you get some rest? Because that's the end goal. Will you go to a trip? Because that's what you are making money for. So at the end of that sheet, write what you want to achieve. You're really cutting that numbers and replacing them with AI because you have a goal in mind. Write that goal, because that's the motivation for you to look into that sheet next quarter.
Nice. All right. One last question. If a photographer takes just one thing away from this conversation we've had today and applies it today, what would you want that to be?
I would say, like, one of the most important thing in this world is to figure out the right people to talk to, who understand the AI and who understand these workflows and who understand the business side of photography. Surround yourself with the right people who can guide you with the right tools. Um, AI is just not a buzzword these days. It's the real thing. It's changing how you work. So you should know how effective it can be for you. And if you can't learn it quickly, it's totally fine. You don't need to worry about it. You need to just find the right person who can guide you through it. For post production, like culling, editing, sharing, any questions related to post production and the workflows, you can definitely come to me. My DMs are open. You can just message me and figure out wherever you are stuck, whether it's FilterPixel or in post production in general. But remember that not trying it is not something that you should do. Try it, fail at it, learn it again. I think that's the best secret sauce. It's not about not trying it. So one thing I would say is just like go and give it a try, and then look for people around you who can make you better at what you do, because that's the real circle that will grow you or push you towards your goals and what you really need to achieve in your business.
Ah, I like that. So, for those who could help make who could use some help in their post-production workflow to make that more efficient, what's the best way for them to learn more about FilterPixel or connect with you? Is that just going straight to filterpixel.com?
100%. We do have filterpixel.com as our website. People can just go to filterpixel.com and sign up for a free trial. We don't require a credit card, so people can just go make it, you know,
Cool.
just like try it out. You can look at YouTube tutorials. We have a couple of people who have introduced FilterPixel and they use it. So there are a couple of tutorials there. Even the app itself has a training tutorial which they can look into and figure out how it works. If they don't get it, completely fine. We have our chat support who is available 24/7 on the website, on in the app, at both places. So for any queries, just contact chat and learn from them how it works, how it can help you, how it can grow from where you are to where you want it to be. So all of that is there on the website itself. You can always DM me because that can be another good start. To just have a conversation with me. I am available on Facebook, so you can just drop me a message. If you're seeing this live, would love to answer any questions that you have after the live or in my DMs. So feel free to message me, and I am quite active on Facebook, so I'll be happy to help you out wherever you're stuck.
Nice. Man, Ayush, it's always a pleasure talking with you. You know what's going on. You appreciate us photographers and the difficulties, the challenges that we're facing on that post-production side. So I want to thank you for investing your time with us in general, and specifically being here on the Portrait Profit Show, and helping us better understand a part of the photography business that affects us, so much more than we probably realize. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your perspective and the work that you're doing to help photographers move through their life, their workflow more efficiently. And so you rock. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Jim. And it has always been a pleasure to talk to you. I feel grateful to be here. AI is something that I really care about. So whenever I get a chance, I just jump over a call and share my thoughts on where I see it moving and how it can really help photographers in the industry. I feel like you're doing a great job at the Portrait Profit Show, and I like the consistency and the way you do
Thanks.
it. So keep doing it. And as I said, the if even if our clients need help in business, I always recommend you, and I always say that you can talk to Jim because he's really doing it consistently and he's really good at what he's doing. So I feel this is a great platform for anyone, and I'm really grateful to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you guys, if you haven't already, go to filterpixel.com or reach out to Aayush Arora right straight on Facebook. He does respond to his direct messages. I know because, well, I've direct messaged him, DM'd him, I don't know, 100 times. I don't know, a whole bunch of times. It's been over a few years, but still, a whole bunch of times. And so he does respond. So thanks once again, Aayush. I'm going to close out this episode today, but thank you once again for being here, Aayush. I appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Man, what a great guest. I really appreciate Aayush Arora from FilterPixel. I appreciate that he's joining us here today and helping us think, differently about the post-production, the post-session side of photography. Lens Legends, what happens after the session affects far more than delivery time. It affects your energy. It affects your consistency, your client experience. How I talk about the experience being the thing that we're going to be caring more and more and more about as things change. This helps with that. And the way your business feels to run. If you're spending hours buried in repetitive decisions and struggling to move through your workflow efficiently, it's time to rethink that process. Efficiency is about removing friction so you can focus more of your time and your energy on the parts of your business that matter most. And because of that, being able to spend more on the things you love most outside of your business, because your business is simply a tool to help you get the life that you want. Technology will continue to change, and the photographers who continue to grow will be the ones who stay adaptable and intentional about how they run their business. I think you guys could agree with that. Now, as you know, the Portrait Profit Show happens every single week, so let's talk about what's coming. In 1 week from today, let me switch that to a different view. That's the view I wanted. On May 18th, that's 1 week from today, we're going to be talking about making the best choice obvious. If there is even a moment in your process, your sales process, when your clients don't know what to do next, that's not a client problem. That's on you. This episode shows you how to structure your offers so the best choice, the one you want them to choose, becomes obvious. Now, what does that mean, best choice? Some photographers have one choice, one option. Well, it'd be how to market that in the best way. But others have options where they are what's called merchandising, where they have maybe a good, better, best type of option. Maybe they have more than that, but let's just go simple, a good, better, best option. Well, the better option is probably the one they want people to choose most of the time. It depends on on the business model you've chosen, but you may have something that gets people in the door, that gets them familiar with you, where they don't have to invest a huge amount in order to experience you. But you have something that you actually want them to have. You're going to make that even more interesting. And you're going to have something that's for those who really want to go all out. We'll talk more about that, how to make that obvious, how to attain your the average sale that you want. Some of you know what your average sale is, but is it what you want? Let's talk about that 1 week from today. Put it on your calendars because, man, you've got a lot of stuff going on. You're going to forget. 1 week after that, we're going to be talking about full service photography. Now, full service photography is different depending on what type of work that you're doing. I want you, though, to imagine a different industry. Imagine a roofer handing you a bag of nails, pointing to a stack of shingles they've just set over there, and calling the job complete because they've taken the old stuff off your roof. They've put it into that roll-off dumpster. They're ready to take it away, but you know how to use a hammer. Yeah, that's what a lot of photographers do. People know how to use a digital file. So some photographers think that the job's done at the digital file stage. And for some jobs, it actually is. But not all of them, especially when it comes to portraiture. But that's what happens every time a client is left to figure out what to do next with their digital files. So in this episode, I show you how to guide those decisions so that your work ends up as something finished, not something forgotten. Put this on your schedule. That's one on every single Monday that you've got the Portrait Profit Show. So put that on your calendar. Make sure you don't forget. You've got a million things going on in your life. It doesn't surprise me that you forget this show, that you forget to turn it on. Maybe you're watching the replays, but it doesn't surprise me that you forget because you're busy. You've got a lot of stuff going on, but there's a tool for that, and it's called your calendar. Put it on your calendar. Thank you guys for joining me today on this episode of the Portrait Profits Show. And I want to once again thank Aayush Arora from FilterPixel for joining us and sharing his thoughts on workflow, efficiency, and the changing role of AI in photographers' post-production process. So if today's episode gave you something to think about, I encourage you to take a closer look at your own post-session process and ask yourself if your process is helping you move forward or if it's holding you in place. As always, remember that success begins by defining what you want. When you define what you want, you give yourself the potential to get it. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, my name is Jim Landers, and I'm bringing you the weekly Portrait Profits Show. You guys are awesome. I am so glad that you're here. Bye for now. See you next week.